Picture Alex at 25. First real job. First real paycheck. Sitting in a parking lot, staring at a direct deposit notification like it was a lottery ticket. He had no idea what he was about to build. Neither did his neighbor Chris. Same apartment building. Same company. Same starting salary. Same Tuesday morning with the same amount of possibilities sitting in their accounts. Fast forward 20 years. Alex is 45. $300,000 in savings. Zero debt. He wakes up without an alarm because he doesn't have to be anywhere he doesn't want to be. Chris is also 45. Lying awake at midnight, staring at a bank notification he was hoping wouldn't come, wondering how 20 years went by and left nothing behind but exhaustion. Same income. Same city. Same starting line. Completely different lives. And here's the part that should stop you cold. The difference was not luck. Not crypto. Not inheritance. Not some brilliant move Alex made at 27 that Chris missed. It was rules. 5 simple, almost insultingly boring rules. The kind most people scroll past because they seem too obvious to matter. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you won't just understand those rules. You'll never be able to unsee them. Welcome back. This channel exists for one reason. To help real people build wealth that actually lasts. Not the performative kind you curate for strangers online, but the quiet structural kind that means freedom, security, and choices made from desire instead of desperation. Today we're going deep on minimalist money rules. And minimalist here does not mean beige and boring. It means cutting the noise until the signal becomes impossible to ignore. The financial industry is not confused. It's complicated on purpose. Today, we burn the complexity down. No jargon. No gimmicks. Just the framework that actually works. Let's go. Rule 1. Spend less than you earn. No exceptions. No asterisks. The week Alex got his first paycheck, he did something almost no one does. He wrote out exactly what he needed to live and decided that every dollar above that number had a different job than spending. Chris did what most people do. He upgraded. New apartment. Better car. Nicer dinners. Because he finally could. That single decision, made in the first week of their careers, sent them in directions that 20 years of parallel living never corrected. Most people don't run out of money. They run out of control. The research backs this up uncomfortably well. Lottery winners. Professional athletes. Inheritance recipients. Across every group, a significant portion end up in worse financial shape within a few years than before the windfall arrived. Not because the money vanished. Because the behavior never changed. Marcus, a former professional athlete who appeared in a financial documentary, went from peak earnings to bankruptcy in his early 40s. He said the money got bigger, but so did everything else. The house, the cars, the expectations. And nobody around him ever said stop. That's lifestyle inflation. And it doesn't require millions to destroy you. It happens to the person who gets a $400 raise and immediately signs a $380 higher car payment. Incrementally. Invisibly. Until the math becomes undeniable and the habits are already locked in. The gap between what comes in and what goes out is the only number that builds wealth. Not your salary. Not your returns. The gap. Alex protected it from day one. Chris never even noticed it was there. Wealth isn't built in big moments. It's built in boring ones. But protecting the gap only solves half the problem. Because here's the question almost nobody asks. What is your money actually doing while you're busy living? Because the answer to that question is the difference between savings and wealth. Rule 2. Never let a dollar sit idle. 6 months into his career, Alex opened a high-yield savings account and set up automatic contributions to an index fund. Not because he was a financial genius. Because someone told him every dollar needs a job and he believed it. Chris had more money sitting in a checking account earning nothing. It felt safe. It felt responsible. It was neither. If your money has no job, it will disappear. Not dramatically. Quietly. Through inflation. Through impulse. Through the slow erosion that never sends a warning. Think of your dollars as employees. Some are compounding, growing, generating returns while you sleep. Some are sitting in the break room collecting a paycheck that doesn't cover their own cost of living. Warren Buffett has said publicly that for the average person, a simple S&P 500 index fund will outperform nearly every other strategy they attempt. That is not a beginner tip. That is one of the greatest investors alive telling you the truth the financial industry spends billions trying to drown out. Put your dollars to work. You don't have to be brilliant. You just have to stop getting in the way. Alex did that for 20 years. Chris kept meaning to start. The distance between those two positions grew every single month, silently, automatically, whether either of them noticed or not. But here's what none of this protects you from. You can save consistently. You can invest patiently. And one unexpected event at the wrong moment can unravel months of progress in a single week. Which is exactly what happened to Chris at 34. Rule 3. Build a financial moat before you do anything else. Chris's transmission died on a Wednesday. $1,200 to fix it. He didn't have it liquid. So it went on a credit card at 22% interest. 3 months of careful progress gone. Not because Chris was reckless. Because there was nothing between him and the world. Alex had 7 months of expenses sitting in a high-yield account. He'd built it before anything else and never touched it. Not because nothing went wrong in his life. Because when things went wrong, he had a moat. And this is where most people realize they've been one unexpected bill away from starting over for years without ever noticing it. The financial moat is the most underrated wealth-building tool in existence. Not because it grows your money, but because it protects your judgment. When you have a moat, you don't panic sell during a market drop. You don't take a job you hate out of desperation. You don't make fear-based decisions at the exact moment calm thinking matters most. 3 to 6 months of real living expenses. Liquid. Accessible. Non-negotiable. Build it before anything else. If you don't control your money, your life gets controlled for you. Now, you've protected the gap. You've put your dollars to work. You've built the moat. There's just one thing left that can still derail all of it. Rule 4. Eliminate debt like it has a name, a face, and a personal grudge. Because it does. At 29, Chris took out a car loan on a vehicle losing value every single day and carried a credit card balance from a period he described as just getting by. By 35, he was paying more in interest every month than he was putting into savings. He wasn't building wealth. He was renting the illusion of it. Debt is not neutral. It is a legal claim on your future time and energy. Every dollar you owe is a dollar your future self has to earn back, plus interest, before they keep a single cent of their own work. You are already working for your past decisions. The only question is how long you're willing to keep doing it. Alex carried no consumer debt. When a balance appeared, he attacked it. Not minimum payments. Not eventually. He treated it like it was personally coming for the life he was building. And when it was gone, every dollar that had been flowing to a creditor became a dollar he kept. No raise required. No promotion necessary. An instant, permanent increase in take-home wealth. Most people never frame it that way. Chris certainly didn't. Here's what that looked like in real time. At 45, Alex wakes up free. No alarm. No dread. No debt pulling at his future. Chris is still checking his bank account at midnight, doing the same math he's been doing for a decade, hoping this month works out differently. Same income. 20 years. 5 rules. That's the entire distance between those two lives. Let that land. 4 rules down. 1 to go. And this last one is the rule that makes everything else sustainable. Rule 5. Design your life around the concept of enough. And actually mean it. At 32, Alex sat down with a notebook and wrote out what he was actually building toward. Not a number. A life. What it looked like. What it felt like. What enough meant on his specific terms. And then he stopped letting the world rewrite that definition every time a new season started. Chris never did that exercise. So the goalpost kept moving. Every raise felt like permission to expand. Every milestone revealed a new one just slightly out of reach. He was running hard towards something that retreated at the same speed he approached it, and he called it ambition. There's a Japanese concept, ikigai, loosely translated as your reason for being. Woven into it is the idea of sufficiency. Of a finish line that doesn't move. We live inside a system structurally dependent on your dissatisfaction. Every ad, every algorithm, every new and improved version of something you bought 18 months ago exists to deliver one message, where you are is not quite enough yet. And until you consciously reject that message on your own terms, it will run your financial life on its behalf. Enough is not a ceiling. It's a compass. And people who find it stop running away from something and start moving towards something real. So here we are. Back to Alex and Chris. Same building. Same company. Same first paycheck on the same Tuesday in their mid-20s. 2 decades later, one of them is free. The other is still waiting for the right moment to start. Wealth is not complicated to build. What it requires is consistency inside a culture engineered to make consistency feel boring. Patience inside a system that profits from your impatience. Clarity about what you actually want from a world that makes enormous money from your confusion about exactly that. 5 rules. No secret formula. No perfect timing. Spend less than you earn and guard that gap like your future depends on it, because it does. Give every idle dollar a job and let compounding work while you live. Build the moat before the storm arrives, and it will arrive. Eliminate high-interest debt permanently and reclaim your future. Decide what enough means on your terms and stop letting anyone else write that definition for you. Alex started with one rule at 25. Just one. And that was enough to begin. Your future self is not asking you to be perfect. They're asking you to start. Today. Not Monday. Not when things calm down. Today. Because the gap between the life you want and the life you're building opens and closes in the decisions that feel too small to matter. They're not. If this gave you something real, hit subscribe. New content every week, no filler. Tap the bell. And drop your best money rule in the comments right now, because every single one gets read. Your comment might be the one that shifts something for someone who needed it today. I'll see you in the next one.